And guys, you heard Chris Paul there go on the record stating that he wants to finish the season. It's the first time we've heard those on the record comments, but it's one thing to say it. It's another to actually figure out how and weigh the concerns of, say, a star player versus what the rank and file role players might want. Playoff teams, guys probably want to finish the season more than guys who are just headed to the lottery. Tracy, we know CP3 is the MBPA president. How would you balance all of that different stuff if you were in his shoes?
It is tough. You know, we have about roughly 400 players in our league. CP is the voice for those guys, so he has a huge responsibility. It's very imperative that he talks to the star players, some of these coaches, and really figure out what's the best way for us moving forward. I mean, the players already have taken a 25% reduction in their pay for this last check. If the teams, if they resume the season, teams make the playoffs, there will be a 40% reduction in their checks. If the season is canceled, then we're talking about a totality of $1 billion will be lost. So, I mean, there's a lot to think about when it comes to, you know, a star player versus, you know, guys living, you know, from from paycheck to paycheck, which is crazy. But some guys are living paycheck to paycheck, and it's just, you know, what do you do?
Yeah, you know, this is kind of like similar to the lockout, man. And I was able to be part of a lockout during my rookie season. And, you know, I know that the players are in the same mindset as CP3. You know, he put a call in to a lot of the star players, and from what I'm hearing around the league, the guys really want to get back. But like you said, Mac, you know, it's just to what extent, you know, what are the precautions we're taking. And I know the NBA has a lot of resources at being able to present a campus-like feel for the players. And, you know, all of us want the NBA back, but it's to what measure and what risk, and is it worth it at the end of the day? And then guys like CP3 who are older, you know, the clock is ticking on their career. Guys like him, LeBron, you know, when you get up there in age, you really don't want to lose these years. And so I can see and sense the urgency in their voices.
Real good point.
Absolutely. It is so complicated. There's so many boxes to tick off. That $1 billion number, though, Tracy,
yeah,
it scares a lot of guys, and it makes them motivated to want to try to figure out somehow, some way. You know, another interesting comment from Chris was just how close the Clippers were to boycotting at least a game or two in the 2014 playoffs in an effort to force the league to act on Donald Sterling. Now, Paul, you played in the playoffs that year. You were over with the Nets. If players had decided to stage a boycott, if they had gotten to the other teams in the league, and that was the plan, if the Clippers and Warriors boycotted and that didn't force the league to ban Sterling, the plan was to ask other teams to do it too. Is that something you would have wanted to participate in?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the type of racism that came from Donald Sterling has no place in not only our game, but in the world. I mean, if it was something league-wide where the teams were to come together to boycott games just for the ban of Donald Sterling, I would have been all in for it, guaranteed, no doubt about it.
Yeah, we can't allow a bigot in our game, especially to be a leader of men. You know, owning the franchise, and, you know, guys are trying to follow your lead. Like, we can't allow that in our game. So if the players wanted to unite and boycott until this guy was thrown out of our game, I absolutely would have been down. I probably would have led the charge.
And guys, it's one of those things where we saw player empowerment kind of blossom during that Clippers reaction to Donald Sterling, right? The fact that they said, we have some control here. One of the quotes on the Donald Sterling recording was, "I make the game." And the players said, no, 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 no. We make the game, and this is what is acceptable. It came at a lot of risk. There's a lot of backlash if you decide to boycott, and you're upsetting the apple cart of billions of dollars in television contracts and all kinds of other things going on. Public reaction. We saw what Colin Kaepernick, the reaction to him just for making a stand during pregame, during the national anthem. If they had decided, hey, we're going to cut off games, and that had spread around the league, I think it would have been very significant. The fact that you guys feel so strongly about that with those kinds of risks, it really says something about the players in the NBA. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.